Hello and welcome to the Energy Connect studio at India Energy Week 2025. I'm delighted to have sitting next to me in the studio today, Hitesh Vaid, Chief Financial Officer at Cairn Oil and Gas Vedanta Limited. Thank you so much, Hitesh, for being with us today.
No, thanks for the invite.
Thank you. And to start off, when we talk about the energy transition, one of the critical factors is investment. So, what are your thoughts on the investment outlook for bridging the huge gap when it comes to the energy transition?
No, I think it's an important question. I think from Indian context, we are a nation which has just started, consuming, demanding more energy. Our population is growing, our economy is growing, and therefore the demand for energy is growing. Now the good part in this context is that now with lot of other avenues coming in, the source of energy is not just the one or the fossil fuel, but we have various options. And for a growing nation like India, first you need to have that optionality. uh, Other important factor is whether that energy is available at affordable price and it is consistently available, or it is sustainable. So I think in that context, I think we are doing quite well. Now the money which is required to bridge the requirement also, of course money will chase returns generally, right? What is happening now is, traditionally we have been investing in fossil fuels. The renewable sector also is getting attractive investments because of the value proposition, because of the long term sustainability. Plus lot of industries, businesses, they also want to contribute towards the environment, and they are also imbibing the renewables into their portfolio. So I think the increase in optionalities, as well as the money which is coming into India, is helping us to bridge that gap and meet the requirements.
Now, you made an excellent point about balancing the trilemma of affordability and access. So, and Cairn Oil and Gas is also driving that whole sort of narrative about energy security as well as energy growth. What are your thoughts, and how's Cairn achieving that?
See, I think our company's vision is to contribute to 50% of India's domestic production. We are currently at around say 25%. Now, one of the important reason why we as an oil and gas company are focused only in India is we want to do more for India. We want to ensure that India becomes energy self-sufficient. One of our stated objective is to make India as Atmanirbhar Bharat. So in that with that in focus, we have been acquiring blocks in India. We have been investing capex every year. We end up spending more than $1 billion in our oil and gas business. Our next 3-4 year plans are to spend around $3-4 billion to increase our production and reach where we want to reach. And in that context, what we are also doing is trying to focus or make a shift towards more gas compared to oil, which is in our portfolio. Currently the balance is 80% oil, 20% gas. With lot of blocks which we have acquired over the last few years, we have 62 blocks now in our portfolio. The portfolio has shifted to more of a gas portfolio compared to an oil portfolio, and I think that also plays a crucial role in providing the gas to the country. And of course, one of the stated target of the country is also to move towards a gas based economy, where we want to move to a 15% compared to 66% now, and the target is 2030. So I think our efforts in trying to do a lot of exploration, finding more reservoirs, finding more oil and gas, I think we are helping in that journey to achieve that self sufficiency in our own way.
And you're also doing it in a very sustainable way. Cairn Oil and Gas is the first oil company in India to sign up for the UNEP's methane reduction program. What is the thinking behind that?
See, one is, of course, we are into a fossil fuel business, which we all know that, it is required for everybody, right? And everything which we do, right from the, time we wake up to the time we sleep, whatever we'll feel, touch, eat, everything is a hydrocarbon element, right? And it is not just about vehicles, or it is not just about power at home. So fossil, requirement will be there in that way, right? And of course, as I said, from an India point of view, we have just started. So we have a long way to ensure that everybody gets an affordable energy. Now from our point of view, what we also understand is that we have to do it in a sustainable way, in a responsible way. We are using natural resources, so we need to ensure that we have the right license to operate. Now, in that context, one of the key things which we are trying to do is one, to ensure that how do we run efficiently in a sustainable way, and while we are internally doing it, we want to also ensure that there are benchmarks for us which are auditable, externally reportable, so that there is a larger information available for the actions which we take. One of our stated goal is to achieve net zero by 2030, which is much ahead than a lot of other people have said. Now we have a plan to achieve that. One, of course, is we are using renewable energy into our business. So our plant and other operations are going to be run through renewable energy. So to that extent, we are ensuring that we don't use coal-based or thermal-based power. The other aspects which we are trying to do is how do we capture carbon. We have a lot of inventory of wells, so that's a good opportunity to capture carbon. But that also we are trying to use in our business to generate money. So how can we use that carbon to say for our enhanced recovery oil recovery program. We have done a lot of enhanced oil recovery program over the last 10 years. So can carbon be a source to do that? So there are a lot of steps, and of course we keep on our commitment is there to plant 2 million trees. So that there we are there. But in addition to that, what we have also now done is methane we know is a key contributor. So as a responsible corporate citizen, we want to ensure that whatever action we take, the impact we report it in a transparent way. It will also not only reflect what we are doing in our business, but how we are improving, making things work for us, and demonstrate to others also that this also can be managed, contained. So that's our objective, that how do we not only do what we are planning, but how do we make it visible for others that this is a sustainable action which we are taking.
And there's a, as you said, that you're just getting started. So could you tell us about some of the most exciting projects that you're looking forward to?
Correct. So, in the beginning I said, we want to increase our production and contribute to 50% of India's, domestic production. Now to reach there, the first step for us was to, have acreages. So over the last 4 or 5 years, we've been very active in acquiring new blocks. So we now have 62 blocks in our portfolio. From a business point of view, Vedanta is a well-funded company. We do not depend on external borrowings to fund our business. So oil and gas is self-funded, and we generate sufficient money to invest in the business. From people point of view, we have hired a lot of technical experts, a lot of youngsters from the best of the universities in India. So we have a well-rounded team which is ready to accelerate that journey for us. In addition, we work with the best global partners. And from a technology point of view, we deploy the best which is available, in the market, as far as oil and gas business is concerned. Now, these are the key pillars which will help us. Now, these have to be converted into projects. So, some of the things which we are doing is, one is, as I said in the beginning, the thing, which has worked for us in the past is, enhancing the recovery from our fields. We have implemented the world's largest polymer project. Now we are implementing the ASP project, which is going to be one of the largest of its kind in the world. That will help us to enhance our recovery. Second is we have a lot of tighter oil in our Rajasthan discovered field. We are looking at adapting technologies from West and implementing in our field. Brought in a lot of experts, so that we are implementing this year. The tight oil project which we are working on. The next one is shale, which is again in Rajasthan. Similar to tight oil, but it is still a bit difficult compared to the tight oil portfolio which we have. But shale has worked in North America. So how can we replicate that? We have a rig which is coming in 3 months' time, an international rig, and that will help us to figure out how to make shale work for us in India. Probably again for the first time it is happening in India. And beyond this, we have a lot of exploration prospect. As I said, we have acquired a lot of acreages across the country. And in that exploration prospect, probably two things I will talk about as most attractive, which we think. One is our deepwater block, which is in the east coast. We think that it can have 5 TCF of potential resources. Now we have started investing money in that block. We are doing some studies. In a year's time, we are going to drill 5 to 6 wells to ensure that we put that resources into reserves, and how do we move forward. And the other part is northeast. We have acquired recently, a lot of acreages there. We have drilled few wells. We have got some positive, indication. And I think North is going to be, from an onshore point of view, for Cairn, North is going to be the next, Rajasthan. So these are some of our key, projects, and hopefully, with the right set of assets, with the right set of people, right technology, right capital allocation, we should be able to, execute them and deliver the vision which we have, promised to our stakeholders.
I think that's a lot going on, and especially like you said about shale, which is a sunrise sector in India, and people don't really associate India with shale. So looking forward to that. And finally, we are here at India Energy Week, and Cairn Oil and Gas is a key part of the show this year. What are your key takeaways?
See, one is, I think from an, so this is for oil and gas business, right? So one, over last few years, India has done a lot of, positive, actions India has taken, which is attracting, a lot of players to India, not just service providers, but operators, right? The ORD bill is also now, coming up. So, the Indian upstream market is open. Global players are attracted to India. Obviously, they know that the consumption is also being driven from this part of the world, right? So it's better to be placed there. The other factor is, given the new OLP round, which is 10, which is deep water, ultra deep water, we have now opened that frontier also for everybody to, look for opportunities. Recent years, if you see around the world, bigger discoveries have been offshore deep water. So now India is opening that frontier as well. So I think this is a good time, good place, to have this conference with so many players looking up to India, and probably a lot of things working for India, right? And it is not just, I think, probably upstream. As I said, from an India point of view, right, it's not fossil fuel or renewable. It is both, because we need all sources to support our energy requirement. And given that the lot of focus on transition, so a lot of players are also coming with that focus in mind, because India is attracting all sort of money, all sort of investment. So I think this is so this decade is going to be India's decade, and that's why everybody wants to be here. So it's great to be part of this, and hopefully we are also here to ensure that we achieve our vision with meeting a lot of new players, new service providers, new operators, foreign operators, and I think that will help us to accelerate our journey as well to achieve our vision.
I think India Energy Week will be a key part of India's decade of energy, as you said.
Definitely, it's going to be one of the topmost global event from India point of view.
Hitesh, it's been such a pleasure talking to you, and thank you once again for coming down to the Energy Connect studio.
No, it was my pleasure interacting with you, and thank you for sparing this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for watching, and you can get more comprehensive coverage of the energy industry and studio interviews like this at energyconnects.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media, and I'll be back with more studio interviews from India Energy Week. Until then, goodbye.